All right, so here we have filial piety. Children should practice respect for parents and ancestors. And what this is talking about, we got into a little bit before when we talked about China, how the children are supposed to take care of the older people in the family, respecting their elders, honoring memories after death. It's a part of the culture that is kind of built in here in China that they talk about being there for their elders, taking care of them as they get older. Their roles kind of reverse. All right, here's some social order for you on some ideas. Humans are good. Again, respect for elders, code of politeness, emphasis on education, and ancestor worship. This is all a part of that cultural piece again. I'm really going to emphasize education and talk about how that is going to be a transformation at some point. When you get to the government, you have civil service testing. That's what this is talking about here. And basically, what happens is the men or the young men are supposed to go in and test for government jobs to kind of better themselves and get involved in the government.
They could be placed in a job locally or all the way up at the palace. And all of this is based on Confucius and his teachings.
Remember, you have government of dynasties. We talked about a dynasty before, family rule, keeping the rule in the family, and having the mandate of heaven, of course, remembering the kind of approval going forward, that divine-like approval of rulership.
Then you have Taoism or Taoism. When they were translating Chinese words into English, they had an original method they would use, and then they actually changed about 20 years ago how they translated words. And that's why you'll see sometimes words with two different spellings as they translate to English. So you can call it Taoism or Taoism. Either one is correct. And with Taoism, you're talking about someone named Lao Tzu. He's the founder of Taoism. Chinese legend actually says that his mother carried him in her womb for 62 years.
Please contact Ms. Carroll in the front office. Please contact Ms. Carroll in the front office.
Please excuse the announcements. You know they happen every once in a while. So Lao Tzu, legend says his mother carried him in her womb for 62 years and that he was born with white hair and wrinkled skin. Most people believe he's actually a legendary founder and that we possibly don't know who the founder of Taoism is. But Lao Tzu is going to found Taoism, at least in a legendary way. The Tao just meant the way, and it's a universal force that guides all things. It's really a religion or an ethical system about natural order. It has a couple of basic concepts. You want to live with humility, so you want to be humble. You want to have a simple life and inner peace, and you want to have harmony with nature. Whereas Confucianism is all about being part of the government and trying to really change how China was run. Taoism rejected the government and felt like you should really focus on yourself and that the government caused too much chaos. And then there's other stuff you have to know about China that really didn't fit into any one category. So you have the yin and yang.
Ms. Nicholson, please contact the front office. Ms. Nicholson, please contact the front office.
Again, just ignore. We're having a very busy day here. All right. Yin and yang, two powers of balance. All right. Some of you have probably heard of yin and yang before, kind of like a catchphrase here and there. People talk about like someone important to them or like their other half. This is kind of where that comes from. Yin and yang is all that is cold, dark, soft, and mysterious. This is going to represent feminine, that feminine category. And yang is warm, bright, hard, and clear, which is going to represent masculine. Notice how they fit literally within each other, that black and white, that opposite, and kind of coming together to create one.
And they are opposing forces that balance each other out when they're together. And you have to know that they're used in Confucianism and Taoism. So it's actually used in both religions, Confucianism and Taoism.